Hey guys, welcome to another episode on the Wireless Audiophile channel. My name is Pete and today we're going to be talking about Sonos' new products for the year 2022. This is the mini sub. Oh got you. I don't know whether they're going to be releasing the new sub mini or they're going to be releasing the headphones or maybe something else. Stay on, we'll chat about that. So as usual, I'd just like to give you a summary up front of what I think they will be doing. I think Sonos is likely to release the mini sub. I don't know about that. The second option that I think they might be going for in the release within the next maybe 1 or 2 months is probably the replacement to this Sonos Playtree. This Sonos Playtree is now 10 years old, my god. Well, the third option that they might actually be releasing is something that I've talked about before. I spotted this pattern filing that they did, and it is this Sonos headphone. They also have the Sonos earbuds, which looked a little bit weird to me with that long wedge shape. Doesn't look like something I wear, but the headphones, right, is very cool. And the volume control, there was a knob at the bottom, like the AirPod Max, but Apple probably got a jump on them when they released the AirPod Max a while back. I mean, maybe last year or probably even the year before, I can't remember. Yeah, so these three products, right? The Sub Mini, not this particular one here, the Playtrees, refresh product, and the headphones. Now, if you stay on, let me just walk you through what all these are. Maybe just share with you a little bit of insights from me, thinking which is the most likely product that they're going to be launching within the next month or two, maybe. And if you're still around, just let me briefly talk about the headphones, because the headphones for Sonos would represent a new product category. And the reason why I think it is unlikely to launch in this period is because Sonos, the CEO, has actually announced in a quarterly earnings call last week that they're going to be focusing their attention on existing product lines. So it's not something that they're going to be launching very, very soon. And there are a couple of other indicators, right? I think in October last year of 2021, they actually acquired a company, which is a UK-based headphone manufacturer. It's called RHA Audio. And why would anyone acquire a headphone company if they're not going to be making headphones, right? So if Apple started acquiring car companies, you can be goddamn sure there'll be a Apple car on its way. So Sonos acquired this company about 5 months ago. And just last month, they acquired another company that was specializing in Bluetooth audio. When they acquired this company, they have some pretty interesting Bluetooth low energy variant protocol, which is called the LC3, which allows for dual casting, meaning to say the Bluetooth operating on LC3 protocol is able to cast to 2 or more Bluetooth recipients at any one time. And again, why would Sonos be acquiring a Bluetooth audio company if they weren't going to be making anything along those lines? And specifically of mention is this company that's specializing in Bluetooth low energy protocols, including the LC3, which is new and unreleased. And why low energy? Because the cans or even the earbuds, if they're going to be producing the earbuds, are likely to be small. It's likely to be requiring very little energy consumption. Otherwise, the battery consumption is going to be a little bit harder, right? And anything from Sonos is not going to be just pure Bluetooth. It has to operate and integrate into the Sonos Wi-Fi network, right? So Sonos does run its own Wi-Fi network, which is 2.4 or 5G compatible, and it uses the Wi-Fi protocol. And Wi-Fi actually takes more energy than Bluetooth. So that kind of implementation would mean that the headphones will require a little bit more energy from the battery. So the acquisition of a Bluetooth audio company that's specializing in low energy consumption Bluetooth communication, I think it all points towards the fact that they are looking at releasing a Sonos headphone. But CEO said, right, that they're going to be focusing on the current product line. So the headphone is likely not going to be launched within this quarter, right? So Sonos says that they will release 2 new products every year. It is a commitment from the CEO, and the last product launch, the last product announcement was actually in September of 2021, and that was before the end of their fiscal year, their financial year. The product is the Sonos Beam Gen 2. The Sonos Beam Gen 2 was actually made available in October, which technically is a new financial year for them. So was the Sonos Beam Gen 2, which is Atmos capable, launched in 2021, or was it a 2022 product? Right. To me, I think it is clear the announcement was made earlier. The product was already ready. It was announced in the year of 2021. So that's considered as last year's product. I think what Wi-Fi mentioned that the Sonos Beam Gen 2 was the first product launch of this fiscal year, but I don't think that's accurate. So if you ask me, I think there will be 2 product announcements with the launch date very close by. The first product announcement being in March of 2022 and the next product announcement being in September of 2022. Again, don't hold me to it. Nobody at Sonos is telling me anything or leaking me any of this news. It's just something that I think they will be doing given their track record. So I do hope that they talk about the headphones, and they actually have hinted about that. So the VP of Global Marketing and Communications at Sonos actually had this message out, right? So Sonos is looking to partner with a thoughtful, creative, innovative, integrated marketing firm for one of its most ambitious project in our history. So what has Sonos been? Sonos has been talking about wireless streaming. Sonos has been talking about speakers, mostly home-based speakers. They kind of ventured into portable Bluetooth speakers with the Sonos Move and the Sonos Roam, but they have never ever touched personal wearables, right? And so we're talking about the earbuds, we're talking about the headphones. So is this the most ambitious project in Sonos history? Probably that's what they're going to be talking about. But this was 3 weeks ago. And 3 weeks ago, I don't think they were preparing for a launch in March. All right. So with that said, this headphone or earbuds is likely to be a product that is meant for September of 2022. So what's going to be coming up in March of 2022? Well, this mini sub. How difficult is it to create a Sonos sub mini version? You shrink it down, right? Well, I did it simply by just printing out, and I even cut out the acoustic slot, right? But there's no guarantee that Sonos is going to keep to the same design principle and just do the lazy way out of shrinking it down. Although I will be quite interested in seeing it, how it performs by just shrinking it down. Bear in mind that for the Sonos sub, the Gen 2, the Gen 3, even all the way from the Gen 1s, the drivers inside, they are 2 opposing drivers, and they are just 4-inch wide racetrack drivers. So it's not the largest. If you shrink it down any further, assuming that the thickness shrinks down considerably, or in relative terms keeps the same dimensions and the same relative proportions, the driver is going to be a lot smaller. And if it goes any smaller than that, I cannot imagine that it will still pump out and move enough air to create subwoofer level amount of bass. If anything, they may not even stick to a 2-woofer design. So it may not be in this same configuration. It may not keep the same design principle. It may not even have the acoustic slot. It might be ported. It might be sealed. And for those of you who don't know, actually, there are 2 ports, right, inside the Sonos Sub Gen 3. It's just that you can't see it. It's actually below and on the top. It's ducted. So the Sonos Sub Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, they are ported subs. And it would have been a really, really big departure if the Sonos Sub Mini goes for a sealed design, which probably delivers a lot more musicality. Sealed subs are known for being more suitable for music as opposed to home theater. So if they do deliver a Sub Mini, which is not ported and sealed, they might actually be marketing and targeting it towards audiophile, towards music appreciation, right? Not so much for movies, which ported subs will be more suitable for. Okay, so I feel actually a little bit strange for talking about some unreleased product with just a piece of paper, but well, just to give you an idea, okay, of actually, it's not even to give you any idea. It was just a funny thing for me to do. It's a piece of paper, all right? Not clickbait, not clickbait. Oh, actually, maybe this makes a good thumbnail. Let's see. Would that work? I don't know. Okay. So I've spoken about the headphones, I've spoken about the earpiece, I have also spoken about the potential mini sub. The last thing I'm going to talk about today for a potential product release within the next 1 month or so is probably this Sonos Playtree replacement. You know, it is a good speaker, it is still functional after, I think I've got it for like 9 years or maybe really 10 years. But it is still functional. I've got a pair of them. I don't use them a lot now because they look really, oh, look at the grill at the back. It's just so old looking, right? So they have refreshed the Sonos One, they have refreshed the Sonos 5, and the Sonos One has a SL version. The Sonos One has also a Gen 2, which has been released, refreshed about 2 years ago. Now, for the Playtrees, they have been in this form and shape since the beginning, since the launch, right? It is capable of stereo on its own because it does have two left and right firing drivers. The Sonos One, it is mono. The Sonos 5 is stereo. So actually this occupies a very sweet spot, right? In terms of pricing, well, I don't know if they do release something new, whether the pricing will be there or not. In order of preference, Sonos, please, I rather you prioritize the update of the Sonos Playtree. You should be calling it the Sonos 3 in line with the naming convention and in line with the design principle. Redesign this a little bit to make stereo, to make music speakers a little bit more palatable, right? Today, some of my viewers, including myself, right, they are using the Sonos 5 as rear surround speakers because the Sonos ones are a little bit weaker and it can't fill a big room well enough, right? But to jump to the Sonos 5 is a big jump. The cost of that is like 2 or maybe 2.5 times that. But with a Sonos 3 to buffer in between, then it actually makes for a very compelling case. I have actually partnered this Playtrees with the Sonos Arc, right, in a surround sound configuration, and I think the volume is fantastic. It really helps to fill up the room much better than the Sonos One. And yet you don't have to go all the way and spend $1,000 on a pair of Sonos 5s to be used as the rear surround speakers. So please do update this Sonos Playtree. I have to, well, maybe don't announce that first. Let me sell this pair first. Nah, just kidding. I have the other one. So I actually have a pair and the other one is sitting in the background. To be honest, they're not even connected. I don't really find a good use case for them now, but they do, well, they did sound great. I'm not sure if they still sound great today. Should I do a video on these guys again? Let me know in the comments down in the comment section below if you want this Sonos Playtree to be compared with any other existing speakers that I have. The other thing, right, when they are talking about a kind of like a product refresh of existing product lines, I classify the Sonos products into music and video products, right? Music and movies product. So the soundbars, the play bass, the play bar, the Sonos Beam, the Sonos Arc, they are all movie capable, right? And you have the music side of things, which is Sonos 1, the Sonos 5, the Sonos M, which is kind of like a hybrid because it does have a HDMI Arc input as well. And they can also be used interchangeably to build the whole movie setup. But if you talk about the Sonos 3, well, I'm talking like there is a Sonos 3. I don't know, okay? Please don't quote me on this. And I'm not leaking anything. I don't have privy information to any of the products that Sonos is going to be launching anytime soon. But if you look at the Sonos 3, the size of this, right, and the placement of this, and the shape of this, it probably lends itself to having a slightly wider angle. So now this is firing at a slight degree off. If you could angle it a little bit more, right? And have one shoot horizontally out and have another driver shoot maybe vertically out. And you could create some kind of like a top firing speaker, so to speak. And if you could engineer this to be a replacement for a rear surround sound channel speaker and fire upward firing, effectively you are going to be getting 4 Atmos channels. So how's that? I think some of the users, some of the viewers have been asking for a upward firing speaker. I just don't know whether it is possible to engineer this to serve dual duty, right? So widen the angle up a little bit. If you put it down forward, it does create a large and wide stereo image and separation. Soundstage will be quite big even from one speaker. If you put it vertically, it will fire one cone horizontally out towards the listening position and fire the other cone upwards so that it will hit the ceiling and come back right down, creating the third and the fourth rear heights channel. I'll leave you guys to think about that. Maybe petition Sonos for that. Again, these are all speculations and I'm just having fun making this video, sharing my thoughts. I'll see you in my next video.